Mayday, mayday. Please proceed for further information.
Hello, I am SKAAR. I am speaking to you from my bedroom. This is my laundry. I'm sorry. I'm going to clean my house later. I was going to explain or describe my artistry in 3 words, and then I guess I would use the words emotional, empowering, and catchy. I would describe it with a lot of more words, but I guess, yeah, emotional, empowering, and catchy. That's what I would say. Um, well, I think a music career for me was kind of it wasn't out of the question, but I was like, I can never do that. I really wanted to do it, but I was like, that's not something that a lot of people do, and it's not a normal thing to do, especially from when I come from a small place, a small island, um, and I don't think many people are aiming for a music career there. So for me, like, being totally honest and saying to people that I want to be an artist and I want to do music, that just seemed very scary to me. So I just kind of I was I thought I was going to be an architect for a very very long time, because that was more like, I like to draw and I like to paint and stuff, and I liked interior design, so I thought that, wow, I can do that instead of doing music. But then when I grew older, I was like, there's nothing in this world making me more happy than making music and listening to music, and just music is a big part of my identity. So it didn't feel right for me to become an architect. I just thought, why? Well, I guess I'll have to try it. Um, so I did, and of course it's been hard. There's been many obstacles, and in the beginning it was more of that, me not believing that I could do it. So I was kind of my biggest obstacle, and I think that's something that's gonna be I think it's gonna be like that for a long time, me kind of limiting myself. Uh, but I really believe that I'm gonna do it. I'm really really happy with my choice of career. Although it's hard, and it's a lot of work, yeah, it gives me a lot of life. Yes, I'm very obsessive compulsive about making music, and um it's a lot of points in the process where I'm like, this is not good enough, because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to music, and I want it to be perfect. I'm that kind of person who doesn't want to practice, because I want everything to be perfect, and I want to be the best at everything at my first try, and that's not realistic. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely very obsessive compulsive when it comes to making music, especially when it comes to the songwriting, and the melodies. I've always been very obsessed with melodies, and I always want every melody to be unique, which is hard and it takes a long time. And I mean, nothing is unique anymore. Kind of a lot of things has been done, and uh, but everything is also unique in its own way. But being such a perfectionist when it comes to the songwriting process makes it a longer process. But I think also it makes you question everything. It makes you go through every process and trying out everything you can, so that it turns out the way you want it to be. But of course, it's hard to be happy with it because you're a perfectionist, and uh, most likely I will never be 100% happy with it. But I just have to come to terms with that and just like be okay with that, because yeah, I don't think I will ever be 100% happy. But yeah, it's fun, I guess. I guess the song that was the most challenging for me was probably Wicked Rhythm, um, from the EP, and the reason is that it's the demo was very weird. It was very weird, and it was um, probably the weirdest thing I've ever made. And I felt like I love that it's so weird, but I completely fell in love with the demo, and it was a very rough demo, so we kind of couldn't have posted it or released it like that. But for me, it was like I love how weird it is. I love kind of it's so raw and magical and weird and cool and amazing, and I don't want to ruin it. So in the process of producing it and uh, writing writing rewriting the lyrics a bit, it was hard to let go of the magical feelings I got of listening to the demo, and that's something that has been very challenging and is challenging still because you fall in love with the demo. But we used a lot of time to kind of go back and forth and try different things, and then we kind of landed on this compromise kind of thing, which I'm very very happy with. Where it sounds kind of a lot like the demo, but it's a little bit more. I don't know. It's a little bit more airbrushed kind of, and that's I think that's a good thing. But that was a hard one. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it was an amazing process where I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things about myself. The most memorable lesson I've learned in the music business is no doubt believing in myself. Because there's gonna be a lot of people telling you what to do or telling you how you are and who you are, and what you're good at and not, and what you should do. And if you listen to that too much and you abandon your own reasons and you abandon what you believe in and what you want to do, you're just left with, I mean, what are you left with? You're not left with anything. Uh, you're left with kind of a pain and sorrow of knowing that you could have done what you wanted to do. So for me, it's just been believing in myself, believing in my gut feeling, um, just being strong and saying no if I'm not comfortable with things, and just yeah, listening to myself, believing that I'm actually the boss. That's something you have to remember when you're an artist, and yeah, just going with your gut feeling. That's my number one lesson from these years. Yeah. Yes, I am planning my new project and I'm really, really excited about it. I've been working on it for quite some time now. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's gonna be a lot more music. I'm gonna travel more, hopefully, when COVID-19 is over. Um, and I want to see more people that like my music. I want to play more concerts, and I want to, yeah, release music that's close to my heart and that's kind of experimental and takes the project to a new level. So, yeah, can't tell you anymore, but stay tuned. If I would write a song to Norway, what would I write about? I guess I would write about the mountains. I would write about the forest and the ocean. I mean about the coast, because I'm from the west coast, and I would probably write about the west coast of Norway, and kind of the fjords and stuff like that, and about how it's very cold. I would write about wool and sheep, and I would write about quick lunch, which is this little chocolate from Norway that looks like a Kit Kat chocolate, which is very good. It's kind of a when you walk on a trip. It's called tur in Norway. I would write about that. What else? I don't know. The fjords, maybe. A song about the fjords and how it's very cold. That's probably what. And how we're very tall. All Norwegians are very tall. I would write about just like stereotypical Norwegian things and bunads and stuff.
Mayday, mayday. Please proceed for further information.